In every U.S. workplace, there is a moment that separates the people who hold power from the people who do not. It is the moment something uncomfortable happens in a room. A hard question is asked. A tense silence falls. A decision hangs in the air. In that moment, most people rush to fill the silence. The powerful person does the opposite. They let it sit. Because they understand something almost nobody in American corporate life understands. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is a tool of power. And the person who can stay comfortable inside it controls the room. Subscribe right now because this video will change how you handle every tense moment at work for the rest of your career. Let me tell you about two managers in the same US company who sat in the same negotiation. A vendor had failed to deliver. The room was tense. The senior executive in charge asked a sharp question and then went quiet, waiting. The first manager could not stand the silence. Within 2 seconds, he jumped in. He explained. He filled the gap with words. He offered solutions nobody had asked for yet. He talked to relieve his own discomfort. By the time he finished, he had given away his entire position, revealed what he was worried about, and made the executive see him as anxious. The second manager did something different. When the silence fell, she let it sit. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. She held the executive's gaze calmly and said nothing. The silence became uncomfortable for everyone except her. And then the executive spoke again, and in speaking first, revealed more about what he actually wanted than he had intended to. She had learned more in 10 seconds of silence than the first manager learned in 2 minutes of talking. The difference between these two was not intelligence. It was the ability to stay comfortable in silence while everyone else rushed to escape it. Drop the word silence in the comments right now if you are someone who rushes to fill quiet moments at work. I want to know how many people feel that pull. Here is the principle underneath this. In US workplaces, silence creates a vacuum, and vacuums pull. When you stop talking and let a silence sit, the pressure of that silence falls on everyone else in the room. They feel the need to fill it, and when they fill it, they reveal things. Their priorities, their anxieties, their actual position. The person who stays silent is the person gathering information. The person who rushes to talk is the person giving it away. Most American professionals were never taught this. They were taught that good communicators are quick, responsive, always ready with an answer. But in moments of tension, the quick answer is the weak move. The held silence is the strong one. So how do you actually use strategic silence in a US workplace? There are 3 specific applications. Application 1. The silence after a question. When someone asks you a difficult or pointed question, do not answer immediately. Pause. 2 or 3 full seconds before you respond. This does 2 things. It makes your answer appear considered, rather than reactive. And it signals that you are not rattled by the question, which communicates more authority than the answer itself. Most people fear that a pause makes them look unsure. The opposite is true. A pause makes you look in control. Only someone who is comfortable would dare to let the room wait. Application 2. The silence after you make your point. When you say something important in a meeting, stop talking completely. Most US professionals undercut their own strongest statements by immediately adding qualifications. They say something powerful and then dilute it with, "But you know, just my thoughts. Happy to be wrong about that." The powerful move is to make your point and then go silent. Let it land. Let the weight of it fill the room. The silence after a strong statement is what gives the statement its power. Do not rescue the room from it. Application 3. The silence in negotiation. This is the most valuable one. In any negotiation in an American workplace, salary, resources, timelines, responsibilities, silence is leverage. When the other person makes an offer or states a position, do not respond right away. Let the silence sit. The discomfort of that silence pressures the other person. Very often they will improve their own offer or reveal flexibility just to escape the quiet. Negotiation professionals know this. The first person to break a silence in a negotiation usually concedes something, so they train themselves to be the one who can wait. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the things you think about determine the quality of your mind, and that very little is needed to make a happy life. He understood that the constant need to react, to fill, to respond, comes from inside us, and that the person who masters that internal pull becomes far harder to move. In a U.S. workplace, the person who does not need to fill silence is the person who cannot be rushed, cannot be pressured, and cannot be easily read. That person holds the power in the room. Now here is what to do with this starting this week. Practice the held silence in one specific situation. This week, choose one meeting or one conversation where something tense or important comes up. When the moment arrives, a hard question, a key point, a negotiation, do one thing. Hold the silence 3 seconds longer than feels comfortable. That is it. 3 seconds past your comfort point. You will feel the pull to fill it. Resist it. Stay calm. Hold the other person's gaze. Watch what happens. Very often the other person will speak again and reveal something, or the room will turn to you with more attention than your words alone would have earned. You are training the single most underused skill in American corporate life, the ability to be comfortable in silence while everyone else scrambles to escape it. 3 seconds past comfortable. One conversation this week. The first manager in our story still fills every silence. He is still seen as anxious. He is still giving away his position in every tense moment. The second manager runs negotiations for her entire division now because senior leaders learned they could put her in any tense room and she would never crack, never overtalk, never give away the company's position. The difference was never confidence in speaking. It was confidence in silence. In U.S. workplaces, the loudest person rarely controls the room. The person comfortable in silence always does. Like this video if it gave you a tool you can use in your very next meeting. Share it with someone who fills every silence and gives away their position. They need this. And subscribe. Because in the next video, we go into one of the most practical strategies in this entire channel. How to make your work visible. Because in U.S. workplaces, work that nobody sees might as well not exist. Do not miss it.